right, everybody, welcome back. This is First We Feast. I'm Sean Evans, and I have a get. No, I'm kidding. This is from the pocket. I am Jake. That's Christian. Christian, I'm just trying to get our numbers up, man. I don't know. How's your week going though? How you doing, my dude?
Uh, it's it's been a weird one, man. Not gonna lie. Oh, so sorry. Oh, Jesus
Well,
Christ.
now we're copyright struck, so that
Yeah,
sucks. That
sorry.
sucks. It's over. Our channel's over. No, yeah, no, it's been a weird week. I've been just crammed with work, just trying to get everything situated before I'm on break for like 2 weeks, and
Mm,
it's been insane. Yeah,
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 my it's where I work at. We're just getting hit with a bunch of just sickness and all that stuff. I this over this weekend, I was just I don't know what I think I got a stomach bug or something. It wasn't fun. I'll spare you the details, but it wasn't pretty. Um, so just that getting through the week, trying to get through that, and then next week is Christmas. It's here.
yeah. And on that note, actually, Christian, not to make an announcement without having talked to you about it, but since next Wednesday is Christmas, I don't imagine we're going to be recording the podcast next Wednesday. So
I could not record at my
yeah, so
parents' house.
I'll be in Chicago. You'll be at your parents' house. So gonna chill, not do that. So we'll, as always, we'll try to hit y'all back with our our posts on social media, let you know our picks, let you know the bets. But yeah, we're gonna cover normal episodes today, and then next week we'll have off, and then probably just be on for the rest of the year like normal. The year's very much coming to a close soon, though. We're going into week 16 this week. We just wrapped up week 15. Seems like a perfect segue to talk about that. So let's really quick recap what happened. We start this past week with Thursday night football. Um,
It's not a great game.
yeah, we came off of a great one against the Lions and the Packers, which was just a classic Thursday night game. Lived up to the hype, and then we follow it up the following week with a 12-6
Much
Rams
like
49ers
field
game.
goals.
No, the first game all season long where no touchdown was scored.
Mm.
So a little interesting fact there. The Rams take it. They are now in firm control of their division at 8-6, and the Niners. This
Well,
loss,
Seattle's tied with them, but do they have the
I think the Rams
tiebreaker
have the
over them?
tiebreaker right now.
I'm looking at it. Oh, they play Seattle last game of the season, and right now they are 1-0 over Seattle, so they
Okay.
do have the
But
tiebreaker.
but again, that game is both teams at this point remain in control of their own destiny.
Yeah,
If both those teams win out, that's probably going to be the Sunday night game because you're basically seeing a game that's going to decide the division. So that's pretty cool. But for now, Rams 8-6. We'll talk about the Seahawks in a little bit. This loss, though, really basically was curtains for the Niners season. They went from having like something like they showed the stat during the game. It's been a while since, obviously, but
yeah, maybe like a 20 or whatever percent chance.
yeah, it might have been even lower. Now they have like a 0.1% chance. And honestly, I could be wrong. They might have been mathematically eliminated after the games were
They
played on Sunday.
have not
No, okay.
been, according to ESPN's website, they're not mathematically eliminated at this point. Um, I mean, their road to the playoffs is winning this division, but I don't think that's
Yeah,
in
it's
that's
over.
not that's not in their cards right now.
No, for sure not. I don't think. And we talked about this at nauseum last week. 9 wins is not getting in the playoffs.
Yeah,
And that's the best they can finish at this point. And again, like 9-8 is what they're going for. They still got to play the Cardinals again, who they've already lost to. They got to play the Lions, and I don't know. Oh, they're playing the Dolphins this week, so
yeah.
and that's a go either way game. I mean, that's in Miami, so it's tough for the Niners. They've had a tough week. I did want to ask this because this has kind of been the conversation around this team. Christian, what do you make of the Brock Purdy contract talk?
Um, that's a good question. I mean, right now, what Dak Prescott is leading the market on
60 mil.
quarterback 60 million a year. I mean, stats wise, he's doing okay. Hasn't been, the guy he was last year, where he was, really leading in passer rating and all that stuff. Um, I don't know. The 49ers have found themselves in a strange crossroad, because they're at the point now where their team is getting older. So, you know, guys, are they trading Debo at the end of the season because they just signed Brendan Ayuk? Other players around that team as well. Trent Williams. I don't know. I don't know if George Kittle is. I don't know what year George Kittle is on his contract either. Um, so I'd pay him now. I'd lowball him for sure, but and see where you go from there. I wouldn't want to pay him the 60 million, but um, yeah, it's tough, man. I don't know what you do with this one right here. What's your opinion on it?
You know, I don't either. My take has been I know a lot of people are like I think Brock Purdy will take a pay cut. I don't know if he will. Like
Yeah,
again,
he's the
it would
last pick of the draft. Like,
exactly like it'd be one thing if he was taken in the first round and it's like, hey, I've already made like $30 million. Like I'm just trying to get a nice like extra little bump in this second contract and I'm good. Brock Purdy has been paid nothing. I mean, he's been paid the equivalent of cents on the dollar for what an NFL, especially an NFL quarterback, has made, and he's got every, and obviously there's context to this, and it's not the full story, but he's, as it stands, he's able to walk into that office and go, I was a starter for 2 years, took y'all to back-to-back NFC championships,
to the
took y'all
Super
to a
Bowl.
Super Bowl. When I left the field on when I played my last down in the Super Bowl, on my back. That's stupid. I don't know what happened there.
Are you still alive or?
Yeah, I think we're still alive.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you were saying.
Yeah, and just to kind of wrap up the point, I guess it's just the other hand is though is I heard John Middlecoff talking about this. What's his market exactly? You know what I mean? Like what
it's pretty, yeah.
like who is going if the 49ers go, we're not going to pay you that much. And Brock Purdy goes, fine, I'll go to another team who will pay. Like, who is paying him 55, $60 million? The Giants aren't going to do it.
I want to say he's still under contract,
He is. He is. And they could. I
so
mean,
they could just say like, "We're not
one more
paying you
year.
this."
We,
Yeah,
we could play. And I think Chris Broussard made a good point about that too. He's like, look, they still got him for a contract. It's like, Brock, we'll give you 50 million right now, and you could take 50 million and you're great, or we can let you ride it out for one more year on your contract, and we'll pay you however much you're going to get on a fourth year on your fourth year of your deal. Like in that case, it's like, okay, maybe I do take a pay cut. So I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know if I like Brock Purdy. Like I think he's cool. I think he's good. I'm happy for him, and I do think he has earned some level of big contract. And I do think he can be like a franchise level quarterback. But I also just like, is he better than Dak? Is he better than Tua?
technically has been better than
Well,
Dak.
but see,
He's been better than Tua.
this is where it gets weird because it's like, okay, do you want Dak Prescott at $50 million or do you want Brock Purdy at 10 cents? It's like, well, obviously you'd want Brock Purdy at 10 cents. Like Brock Purdy at 10 cents is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott at $50 million. But like, if you're paying Dak and Brock Purdy the same amount of money, how much better is he better than Dak? Then I don't even think that. Like I am not convinced he is. I think the best you could convince me is he's like a hair better than Dak, and I don't think Dak should be paid anywhere near the $60 million that he just got. So I don't think it's a good idea. I think the 49ers are setting themselves up for failure if they pay him that much money.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't start there.
Yeah.
40, 45. Like, hey, bro, let's let's work something out here and then see, maybe settle for 50-55. Um, but who knows? Who knows? They could just say, "Hey, we're gonna ride it out one more year, and you'll see what your market is, and then we'll play hardball then." But yeah, I it's gonna be interesting to see what they do at the end of this year.
I agree. All right, well, we can get into our Sunday slate. We had no teams on a bye week this week, so we had a full slate of games. We had two Monday night games, though, so we can clear through a couple of
Watch
these. I
any
don't
of
have
them.
too much to I don't have too much to add about a few of these. The Cowboys beat up on the Panthers. Micah Parsons had a couple sacks. That was cool. Cooper Rush, CeeDee Lamb looked good. Bryce Young kind of came back down to earth and struggled. Yeah, I mean the Cowboys took care of business. I think as a Cowboys fan, this is starting more and more to feel like almost a transition year. Like it was easy early on, and it kind of was early on, like that season from hell where you're like, oh man, everything's going wrong. This team's broken. Whereas the deeper we get into the season, Deron Bland is back. Since Deron Bland's been back, they've been 3-1, and their one loss was that fluky loss to the Bengals. Rico Dowdle is kind of finding his legs. The offensive line is finding their legs. It really does start to feel like next year when Dak comes back, if they can get a nice weapon in the early part of the draft, maybe continue to just beef up that defense like they have. Are they a Super Bowl contender? Probably not, but like there's more optimism. Like, okay, so they're still kind of there. They're still kind of in that second tier of teams that'll probably go to the playoffs. It's just kind of been a weird year where Dak got hurt. Their run game took 13 weeks to get going. Their defense was injured early and just couldn't stop anybody when it mattered. But now that it's all coming together, I feel a little more optimism about this team going into the offseason. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional.
I mean, teams. We see teams like that. Get hot. Maybe one didn't start off well, but later in the season they pick it up, and they do go into the off season with a bit of optimism. So maybe and then it'll translate. I think this was just a weird year. Um, do you think Mike McCarthy's coming back? Which
Yeah, I do think he's coming
yeah,
back. I
I
do.
do think this is a
Um, the players. I mean, Dak has been clear from the get go. Micah Parsons is coming out now saying they want Mike McCarthy back. They're still playing like they're not in this thing. I know technically, like mathematically, they are, but like they're not really in this thing, and they're still going out there like, no, we're gonna stomp the Panthers. That's what we do. We stomp teams like that.
stomp bad
So
teams.
it does tell me that like this team still feels like they can accomplish what they want under Mike McCarthy. And, halfway through the season, Mike Zimmer's was okay. Mike Zimmer's a total disaster. Now Deron Bland's back. Micah Parsons is healthy. The defense is getting back. DeMarvin Overshawn obviously got hurt, but he's been a stud. He's really risen and become a star. I think maybe they might even keep Mike Zimmer around and let him have a cracking year
Yeah,
two of a system.
yeah,
So,
that would be fair. That would be fair.
all right, let's talk about the team with the best record in the NFL now, the Chiefs, 13-1, got a snooze fest win over the Browns. A couple highlights came out of this game. The big one obviously was Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Seems like he's going to try to go this Saturday against the Texans, which I think that's silly. I don't see
Because
why you would do that.
then they
Wednesday.
play on Wednesday on Christmas. I
Yeah.
don't this this game. Now I disagree with Nick Wright saying they have the best backup in the league. Okay, we're only saying that because Carson Wentz is on the Chiefs. If Carson Wentz was on any other team, we
He's
wouldn't
not the
hear
best
that.
backup. Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. But I mean, Houston all year has been not great, and we saw on Sunday versus the Dolphins,
They
who
escaped.
don't play good, who don't play well against good teams anyway. Um, didn't they didn't they didn't play well, and so I think you have a really good chance to win on Saturday. Have Mahomes be healthier on Wednesday when you play the Steelers, which is gonna be a probably a dogfight because because of their defense and all that stuff. So I don't I, I get it. He's an athlete. He's a warrior. He wants to play. I would not play him in this game, but who knows? They could maybe try to get an early lead as they do, and maybe he's sitting out second half, third, fourth quarter. Like we'll see, or like fourth quarter. But who knows? I don't like the decision. He shouldn't play this weekend. He shouldn't.
I agree. I would.
Or Saturday. He should not play.
You and I understand. Like, well, you like my point is to me, you have this cushion. You have a game and a half over the Bills. Like,
Yeah,
you can lose one of your next two games and you still are fine. Now, again, it's like, well, if we lose this Saturday, then all of a sudden that game against the Steelers becomes critical. And it's like, I get that, but like, you have the cushion. You should take advantage of the fact that you have the cushion. And you should also, I mean, Carson Wentz, like, again, I don't know if he's the best backup in the league, but Carson Wentz pretty good.
Yeah,
like Carson Wentz
he serves for a game.
Yeah, I mean, he's serviceable. He was an MVP candidate several years ago, 7 years at this point. But nevertheless, like, he was in that conversation, lo and behold, once upon a time. So, I think you have the cushion you have. I think, I don't know. Nick Wright's opinion on this made no sense to me because on one hand, he's like, well, we can win. It's like Patrick Mahomes will play, but even if he doesn't, we're still going to be okay. But he's going to play, so it's okay. Because we have the best his argument, like, during the whole offseason, they're like, who has the best roster in the NFL? And everybody's like, probably the Niners. And he's like, 1 through 53, I got Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs. That's the best roster. And then it's like, okay, I guess. It's, he's like, well, what roster is Patrick Mahomes? Because that's the roster I want. It's like, okay. But then they're like, well, Patrick Mahomes is out. He's like, well, but they have the best 1 through 53 anyway, even without Patrick Mahomes. And it's like, okay, so the Chiefs just have the best team anyway, even with or without him, which is nonsense. Like, I don't even think they have the best 53 with Patrick Mahomes, let alone without him.
Well, yeah, we've seen this year, like, they're not. They play well situationally, and because Patrick Mahomes, like, if Carson Wentz was playing this entire year, this would not be the Chiefs would not be
6-7, 6-8.
Yeah, like, this team would not be great. But yeah, I don't. They should sit him. They should sit him for sure.
The Texans have.
And
they have the second most sacks in the league or something.
I thought they were leading.
They might be leading. Like, yeah,
I think they might be leading.
And they've been having offensive line issues all year long.
Yeah, he's been getting hit a lot, so we'll see. We'll see. I know they'll probably have a big emphasis on trying to, establish the run and, quick screens, quick passes, getting the ball out of his hand if he is gonna. Which I think all roads are pointing for him to play. So, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that should be a big concern for the Chiefs, right? Is just trying to get Patrick out of this game against the Texans, healthy and not too banged up for him to miss, any amount of time during the playoffs. And you also remember with the number one seed, you do get a week off. So
exactly, yeah. I mean, I would start Carson Wentz and assume you're going to split these next two games. You get to end your season playing. Is it the Broncos? It's the Broncos. Yeah, they're going to end their season against the Broncos. Not an easy win, not an easy game, but like you can beat the Broncos and then you get the week off.
Maybe their thinking is we win this one and then we win next week first on Christmas versus the Steelers.
You lock it
and
up.
Then we could probably sit for that week 17.
2 weeks off.
Get 2 weeks off. So I can see the logic, but I don't know. This is a little too risky, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, and I think I can't remember who said it on First Things First, but I thought would you rather have? You would rather have, I think it was Chris Broussard, Patrick Mahomes sit and lose the 1 seed than risk him going out there and getting hurt, which I agree with. Like, I could take the Chiefs as a 2 seed. Okay, like you got to go on the
Okay,
road
yeah.
and play Buffalo. All right, like I
Okay.
mean it's a tough game. Like I'm not saying it's a win, but like I would rather have that than Patrick Mahomes hobbled going into the playoffs. Or worst case scenario, knock on wood, he actually does severely injure something
And now
against the
and
Texans
all
or
of
the
this
Steelers,
was for nothing.
and your three-peat's over. Like you have no shot at three-peating now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Chiefs. I mean, Andy Reid, he knows what to do. Patrick Mahomes, just be careful with the three-peat, y'all. As for the Browns, the big news coming out of their team, Dorian Thompson is going to be starting. Dorian Thompson Robinson is his full name, right? I can't remember how to say his name, but he is getting the start. Jameis Winston has been benched.
Oh,
Famous Jameis.
I didn't hear about this.
The famous Jameis era is over for right now. Yeah, it sucked. We had a lot of fun with Jameis for those few weeks. Kind of brought liveliness to it. Even when they weren't winning, it was still a lot of fun. And then this offense, just the past couple weeks, has been putrid. Just really bad against the Steelers. Really bad against the Chiefs. So, yeah, good luck Cleveland. They're 3-11, not really playing for anything. But
Yeah, they're just out there just for pride.
All right. I don't have too much to say on this, but this is your game. Dolphins, Texans, Christian. Do you have anything you want to say about this game?
A little annoyed with like Tua. Obviously, didn't play well. 3 interceptions. Just looked awful. Uh, but and Tua, he's the quarterback. They get all the blame when they win, and they should get a lot of the blame when they lose. But Mike McDaniel, I don't understand why Mike McDaniel is not getting any harsh criticism as well. We saw him. We saw what this team offensively when Tua was out. We were the worst offense in the league, averaging like 10 points a game. Um, Tua has his problems with the weather and playing good teams or whatever. But Mike McDaniel with Tua has struggled immensely. I don't. What's his record like 2-15 or something like that? I could be getting that wrong. Against teams with a winning record. Again, I've already said it. Probably fire Chris Greer at the end of the season, get a new GM, maybe give Mike McDaniel one more year just to run it back. But yeah, man, this is kind of what I expected. Well, not. I was hoping it was going to be close, and it was, but yeah, it was just awful. Just an awful game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It was they had the ball at the end. That last interception, I was watching it on my phone, so it's kind of tiny. I thought Tyreek caught that, and I have Tyreek in fantasy. I'm playing in the playoffs. I was like, nice.
I saw the picture. I saw like the video of it. It looked like he caught it at first,
and then I see Tua just unstrapping, and I see them run into the end zone with the ball, and I'm like, what? What happened? Did I miss something? And I went back and rewatched it. I was like, oh man, he intercepted that?
Ew.
Holy moly. So, yeah, very tragic, very upset. It's been just a tough year for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I feel like Tua's getting a little too much blame. Like, I'm on the board.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Tua's been really good this year. And, yeah, he had a tough game against the Texans. Inexcusable. You hate to see it, but, like,
we struggle against the Bills as well. But
yeah, well, the last time he played the Bills in Buffalo, he balled out. They didn't win, but he played well. Like, I feel like y'all gave Tua all that money, and Tua of all the quarterbacks that just got their big money, Trevor Lawrence been a disaster. Jordan Love, I mean, you can say it's been a success, but they're literally trying to keep him from throwing the ball in games. They're like, hey, can we not give it to him more than 15 times a game? Like, same with Jalen. We'll see what happens with Dak. Like, we know kind of what we're expecting with Dak. But, like, Tua's been the one guy that got his money that's like, oh, he's actually, like, the reason they win games. Like, Tua doesn't play well, they lose. Tua plays great, and they look like a great offense. Uh, so I'm a little annoyed with like the Tua slander of like Tua needs to. It's like, guys, first off, he's not going nowhere. Like
Yeah,
he's not
he's
going
our
nowhere.
quarterback.
He's
He's
your
our
quarterback
quarterback.
for at least another year, probably two.
Yeah,
But I do agree with you. Like Mike McDaniels, I like Mike McDaniels.
I like him
I
too.
like the vibes. But at some point, we gotta hold account. And he's not had a good year. And really, as you said, his record against winning teams, like that's abysmal. That's horrible. So I don't know, but I don't have anything else to say on this. Congrats to the Texans, but man, they're gonna win the division. But my pick for them to go 9-8 and look really weird, I feel really good about it. I know people are talking about C.J. Stroud. I really think the problem is their O line, though. Like,
And then it was banged up. I mean, I think he is going through probably a bit of a sophomore slump here and there. But yeah, their offensive line, I think, has been the biggest issue.
well, I think the problem, my understanding of the problem is, like last year, he was like, "I'm gonna roll out, I'm gonna make time, and I'm flinging it 40 yards down the field to a guy that's seemingly wide open." And he's not able to do that this year because he doesn't have time. So he's having to get the ball out a lot more. And I heard one guy I listened to, he talked about how he's like, it's kind of just the human element of the game. Like, you start taking those hits at the pro level and you start thinking a little differently about holding on to the ball and doing fun stuff. Think like even with Jaden Daniels. Like Jaden Daniels the first half of the season is playing with reckless abandonment, is playing like, what do I got to be scared of? And then he injured his ribs, and Jaden Daniels been looking a little different since then. He's been
Yeah,
the way he's behaving is a little bit not as it's a little more tight, a little more like, oh, I really don't want to get hit right now.
yeah. I mean, dude, those are big dudes,
Yeah, so
grown ass men.
anyway, don't have anything to say about this game. Jets beat the Jaguars. Mac Jones continue. I don't know, dude. He's the most unlikable person. Like,
Oh, really?
Mac Jones. I know some people like. I see him just trash talking and jawing at like defensive players. I'm like, dude, you are a backup quarterback on one of the worst teams in the league. You are not good enough.
I didn't know he was doing that.
Oh yeah, Mac Jones. He's out here grittying and celebrating and dancing and shit talking defensive players, and it's like, dude, you're not that guy, pal. I don't know what you think you're doing out here, but you're not good. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers has another great game.
Yeah, Devontae Adams.
That was a nice catch Devontae Adams had on that sideline. Yeah,
Had a great second half, I think.
I think the angle people that are optimistic about Aaron Rodgers are going for is, oh, yes, he injured himself, and it took him like 2-3 months of playing to kind of get back to being himself. Now he's back to himself. So now next year, you're going to see him light it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
that's going to be it's going to be so good if we go into this offseason with the same narrative for the past 2 seasons. Jets playoff contender, right? Bills might want to watch out. No, Jets probably gonna win this division this year. Oh man, you better watch out for them Jets. They're sneaky. They're Super Bowl sleeper, and they're just a year from now 4-10 again.
40. What is he? 40? Gonna be 42 next year?
I don't know. I think his birthday's in December.
Like 42.
He might have
42.
just had his birthday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, his birthday is December 2nd, so he'll be 42 this time next year.
All right. You can have him, Jets. You can go ahead.
I don't know if the Jets are going to want him, but we'll see. All right.
I saw something. Here on ESPN websites by Rich Simony. Looks like if he's back in 25, he's okay with the Jets drafting a quarterback, and he'd mentor him. So I mean, that's what I was talking about. Like, hey, you better be cool with this.
Well, the question is who are they going to draft? Because I feel like everybody's kind of resigned to the fact that, like, Shedeur Sanders is kind of the guy, and if you're not getting him, like, who are you getting? like
Yeah.
Caleb Ward. So we'll see where they go with that. But yeah, good luck to the Jets. I guess I feel bad for your fan base, but it is kind of it's. I just man, I've said this over and over. I can't think of a team that has been as bad as the Jets, and yet everybody's still rooting against them. Like who's rooting outside of like fans within their division, like the Packers, Bears, Vikings? Who is rooting against the Lions? You know what I mean? Like we've all seen for our whole lives this team be bad, and they're finally good, and everybody's like, yes, yes, go Lions, go to and the Jets. It's like the first time they have hope. People are like, I hate this team. I hate this team.
I just think it's just undeserved. Like it's just undeserved. Just praise that, like that was just not like was just not earned. Like it was, and they struggled.
Did you ever watch Mad Men?
Nope.
There's
tried to watch Mad Men.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but I love Mad Men. There's a scene where Dawn's wife, Megan, is in a job interview. And Megan is like in her late 20s. She's like young. And she's talking with this guy, and she's like going for this job that's like way above like what she probably should be going for or something. And after a little bit in the job interview, the guy she's interviewing with goes, "Oh, so you wanted to like skip the part where you have to like earn it." And that's kind of what it feels like the Jets are doing. Like the Lions went through, we're going to systematically build our team from inside out. We're going to build it the right way. We're going to draft offensive linemen. We're going to draft smart. You know, we're going to develop a scheme. We're going to develop a culture. And the Jets are like not doing any of that. Not doing any of that. They thought they'd get Aaron Rodgers and everything would change.
Just be fixed. Like, nope. Not how that works.
I also think it just shows Aaron Rodgers. Like, it really does show Aaron Rodgers' kind of lack of leadership ability. Like, Tom Brady goes into the Bucs, who don't have a winning culture, and oh my gosh, they have a winning culture all of a sudden. Because that's what Tom Brady does. That's who he is as a leader. Aaron Rodgers is not. He's not like Kevin Durant in the sense that, like, I don't find Kevin Durant as annoying as Aaron Rodgers, but Kevin Durant's not changing your culture. Kevin Durant's just a really good basketball player.
Oh, Jake, well, since we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, we got to announce our vaccine status.
Oh, do we?
He said something on Pat McAfee's show about that.
What?
If we're talking about football, we need to. I don't know. I didn't watch the clip. I just saw a headline, so it could be fake. I don't.
Okay, hold on. I'm reading this right now. Okay, hold on. I got it right here. Aaron Rodgers calls on critics to share vax status. I know multiple times people don't listen, so whatever the F you want to say about me, I don't care.
Tucson versus.
But before you do it, whether you state your name, your accolades, pronouns, whatever it is, state your vax status. What?
I maybe he got pissed off. I don't know. Maybe he's pissed off at the critics or something. I don't know. I don't watch the Pat McAfee shows. I don't know.
The Pat McAfee shows, I kind of, this is like totally a side tangent. I feel like the Pat McAfee show for like no reason is caught in the middle of like the culture war. Like Pat McAfee, those are just a bunch of bros that talk football.
Yeah.
And like that's all they do. Like, and they're not controversial. Like they're just talking. The only controversial thing they do is have Aaron Rodgers on their on their show.
They just let him go off.
Like people, I don't know. People act like, oh, you watch the Pat McAfee show, you must be like this or something. And it's like, dude, these are just homies talking about football, man. Like I don't think there's anything else to it.
Pat McAfee's a punter.
So, anyway, yeah. Good luck, Jets. Good luck, Jags. Yeah, Jags, I think, are blowing it all up. So, anyway, I want to talk about this game next. This game pissed me off more than any other game this week.
Oh, what game?
The Commanders Saints.
Oh, yeah.
Pissed me off.
I didn't watch any football.
I'm going to talk about it in my best bets, but I had the Commanders minus 7.5. And they were up 20-0 in this game, blowing them out, no problem, and they let the Saints come back. I'll talk more about what went wrong as far as the bet goes, but the Saints should have never been in this game. They finally have it. They score on the last play of the game. They score a touchdown to, in theory, tie it. They go for the 2 instead of going for the extra point, and they don't get the 2.
I mean, I guess I kind of get it for the 2.
I mean, I'm not. It's late in the season. I'm not playing for anything. I'm not trying to play for overtime. I just want to
right.
Like, whatever. But the game, from a betting perspective, really made me mad. I don't really have too much else to say about this. The Saints are playing the Packers this week. That'll be not a good game. And the Commanders are playing the Eagles. So that's going to be a good game. So, yeah, we'll talk about those a little bit. Anything on that game?
No.
All right. Another game I don't have too much to say. Ravens blow out the Giants.
Which it was expected. The Ravens coming off a bye, and it's the Giants. And they're playing, who's Drew Lock, or did they go back to Tommy DeVito?
I think it was, what's his name? Something Boyd. Tim Boyd, I think, got the start because Drew Lock was hurt. Tim Boyle got the start because Drew Lock was hurt, but Drew Lock will be back this week. I saw that right before we started.
I don't care who's playing for the Giants. The Giants aren't playing for. They're playing for seeding in the draft.
I think it was this week,
and they're trying to lose.
I think it might have been last week. Maybe it was this week, but there was a fan who paid to have a balloon or something fly over the stadium that said "Fire everybody" or something. They're really. The Giants are yet again going to be probably cleaning house. The good news is they're actually going to get a quarterback this time when they do it. So
interesting.
Good luck. I hope y'all will get like Kirk Cousins or something.
Well, he has no trade clause, and I don't think he wants to be traded to.
Yeah, he said he only wants to be traded to a contender.
Yeah, Giants ain't a contender.
Who's a contender that needs Kirk Cousins?
I can't think of one right now.
Who is Kirk Cousins away from being a contender? I mean, is Kirk Cousins an upgrade over Geno?
Not really.
Are the Colts? Do the Colts just need him to put themselves over the top? I can't
the Colts. Maybe I can maybe see the Colts.
I can see the Colts. I just don't know if Kirk Cousins is gonna want to go there.
Yeah, go to the Colts. Yeah, true.
The Saints aren't a quarterback away from being a contender. The Steelers they got a good thing going with Russ. I don't think they're going to want to mess that up with Russ. I don't see why they would. The Cardinals, maybe, but I would rather have Kyler than Kirk at this point.
Yeah. The Raiders, but they've been. The Raiders are
bad. I don't know who would fit his bill where it's like this team is a quarterback away. Maybe the Jets. Maybe they move off of Rodgers to go get Kirk.
So we just go from one Achilles injury to the next group. I mean, I guess he'll be a year removed from it. It's still just a weird lateral move they would be making. Why not just go draft a guy? Let's go stop retreading old trends and let's go start our own trend.
Yeah. Next game, Bengals Titans. Bengals were blowing this team out. Titans made it look a little closer, but it really wasn't. It was 37-27 final. Mason Rudolph played. Don't have too much to add about this game.
I saw something about it was a video of Joe Burrow talking to Zach Taylor, and I don't know, from what people were saying, from what he was saying, mouthed or whatever, reading his lips, people were like, "Oh, he's something about something that was bad. They played bad or something. I don't know, but Bengals are 6-8, still hanging on by a thread to make the playoffs. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not. Good luck to them though. Patriots, Cardinals handle business. Again, not really too much to say about this game. Cardinals are, as you just said about the Bengals, they're barely hanging on by a thread. They're a full game behind in their division. They still have to play the Rams though, but they need the Seahawks to lose probably twice. I think these tiebreakers with divisions always kind of confuse me a little bit, but Yeah, they lost both times to the Seahawks. So Cardinals kind of in it. Patriots 3-11. Guess Kevin Wild says the drive for 5. Probably not happening. They got to play the Bills twice.
Nope.
So good luck to you. Colts Broncos. This game was weird. I missed the good parts of it, unfortunately, because it was 13-10 for the longest time. The Colts were winning. It was an ugly turnover fest. Bo Nix turning it over.
3
Anthony
interceptions.
Richardson turning it over. And then I look back at my phone like an hour later, and it's 31-13. And I'm
I know they had a pick. Fumble recovery.
Yeah, so the big thing that came out of this was Jonathan Taylor. He dropped the ball before he crossed the plane.
Yeah, I also saw that.
Yeah, and that was
What are
really
we
the
doing?
turning point in the game. Yeah, well, it's
What are we doing?
it's
Why is this a problem?
it's
Or
bad
it's
too.
weird that we keep saying it's not like a problem, but like, why does this keep happening?
You don't see it with players like Jonathan Taylor, who are not only some of the better players in the league, but they're seasoned vets. Like it feels like you see this with young guys who don't really get a chance that much. Not Jonathan Taylor, but I think it also speaks to how bad Anthony Richardson has been. Like that should be the thing you're talking about, and it's kind of like, oh, and by the way, this happened because of how bad Anthony Richardson has been. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of people start to give up on Anthony Richardson, and the more evidence I hear about it, the more I am becoming convinced to move off of him as well, unfortunately, because I really wanted him to work.
I think he was a very, very, very big project that they needed to work on, and it seemed like the Colts just didn't have the right. They thought the process was just all messed up. That is just plain and simple. Maybe he could have worked, but yeah, it's just all messed up. And like benching him, then getting the start and all that. This is all kinds of just messed up.
Well, I think it's so weird because, like, you look at Shane Steichen's track record. I mean, Shane Steichen had Justin Herbert as a rookie. Justin Herbert was amazing. He goes and takes over for Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts, he makes him amazing. MVP candidate, played his best football of his career. And then he gets Gardner Minshew last year, and they're like a drive away from the playoffs. And it's like, why is Anthony Richardson not working? So, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it does make me wonder if the Colts are going to be in the market for another quarterback this offseason, or if they're going to say, it's only your second year starting. First year kind of was a wash because you got hurt. Let's give you one more year. It's a weak quarterback class anyway. See if maybe another year of work helps you and kind of helps you see the field a little more. And, yeah. But for now, it's tough. It's tough. I'm wishing him the best. I'm wishing Shane Steichen the best. I really do like both of them. And I hope they work. All right. Let's talk about it, Christian. Let's talk about the game. The game of the week. The Bills and the Lions.
I really wish I could have. I slept most of Sunday.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, because you were sick.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, Christian. This game was 48-42. It was not this close.
Oh.
It was not this close.
Who is...
The Bills dominated them basically the whole game. They came out, stopped the Lions.
It was 14-0.
It was 35-14 in the second half.
Oh, now I'm seeing that. Okay.
Like it was the Bills came out and stopped them quick, drove down the field, scored, stopped the Lions again, drove down the field and scored, and then that's when the Lions picked up.
Yeah.
And they scored, and they could not stop the Bills. I mean, and Jared Goff had 5 touchdowns, and I know everyone's like, Jared Goff had a great they had 14 points. Like when the game was in balance, Jared Goff was not playing well. He was playing fine, but he was not playing well enough to get his team out of the situation that they were in. And then when they're down 35-14, they score, and then the Bills score a field goal, I think, and made it 38-21, and then they
Yeah.
score again, and then the Bills, I think, score, and it's
They scored a
45 to
touchdown.
28, and then
Yeah.
the Lions score, the Bills score, the Lions score, and then they go for an onside kick and almost get it, and they don't, and the game's over. So like the Bills thoroughly took care of business in this game. Like they for all 4 quarters looked like the better team, which is very impressive. I think. I mean, there's so much to talk about, I think, on both sides of this game. I think on one hand, I want to talk about the Bills and how good they look.
They didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, I think, oh my gosh, I heard some crazy stat. Man, I think Josh Allen has like 17 touchdowns over the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in his past three, well, 4 or 5. I mean, they've been averaging. Jesus Christ! Except for the Jets game where they scored 23, they've put up over 30 points. They put up 34 against the Titans. They put up 31 against the Seahawks. They put up 30 versus the Dolphins, 30 versus the Colts, 30 versus the Chiefs, 35 versus the 49ers, 42 in a losing effort to the Rams, and now 48. So they've been cooking offensively. He's been cooking offensively
Yeah, I mean,
for like 2 months now.
it's been amazing to watch. I mean, again, I totally fine with him being the MVP at this point, and I think he will win the MVP. But
Yeah,
it's kind
I
of
think this day I think solidified. I know we still got 3 weeks left, but yeah, it's been
I'm,
insane.
I'm a little worried about their defense. They are having some issues defensively, and look, I know you're playing the Lions, and a lot of
The Bills defense.
yeah.
I feel like it's just a bunch of guys. They're just running off scheme and vibes.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel that. They have some injuries in their secondary, but I mean, look, I know it's like, well, you gave up 42 to the Lions. It's like, but when the game mattered, we had given up like 14, and I mean, their defense played really well early on, and that gave. I mean, it was just, it got to the point where it's like, it's not that the Lions can't score enough to get back into this game. It's that the Lions defense is just, they are incapable of stopping this offense. And I guess that's kind of a transition over to the Lions. But as far as the Bills just go, like, I want them to get a little healthier, shore up that defense a little bit. But, like, Stafford and the Rams and McVay giving up as many points as they did, giving up as many points to the Lions, who are obviously one of the best offenses in the league, in Detroit. I'm not going to fault them that much, but it is something to keep an eye on. As for the Lions, I have to ask you, Christian, should the Lions be panicking at this point, or is that too premature?
Panicking is I wouldn't say is too strong a word. I'd be definitely worried. Uh, you know, a lot of they have had a lot of injuries on defense, so that should be a concern for right now. They and the Vikings haven't gone away, which I still think they play the Vikings. Yeah. So yeah, 2 division games left. Bears, Vikings. They play the Bears, and then the 49ers. So not a at least their next 2 games aren't insane, but that last game for against the Vikings, they could be playing for the 1 seed or the 5th seed. Like that's if the Vikings keep it up. That's wild. Which that would definitely if the Vikings, yeah, if the Lions get the 5th seed, I don't know, man. That would definitely give me pause. Uh, I don't know, but not. But no, I wouldn't be panicked, but I'd be definitely worried. They need to get healthy, and they need to get healthy quick.
See, I am panicked if I'm the Lions, and I'm panicked for a couple
Looking
of
at those
reasons.
2 games, I don't know.
Well, it's just
The
because
Bears, you throw that out, they gonna beat the Bears.
they probably will beat the Bears. Yes. Niners, that could go either way in San Francisco. They should win that game, but
Yeah, we'll
and that
see.
Vikings game, I don't know
Now
what
that Vikings game is scary.
that could decide a lot, but
Yeah.
it's just it's twofold why I think they should be panicked. Their situation to me is kind of like the Cowboys last year, where it's like, hey, you kind of got to do it this year. If you don't, you're gonna find it's gonna be really hard to
Yeah,
come back the year after and do
be
it.
gone. He's probably getting a head coaching job. I don't know if
Exactly.
you can convince him to run it back one
And,
more year.
and I know their division is really good, but it's like, is there not a really good chance that the Packers are even better next year than they are this year? Like another year with that young nucleus, and all of a sudden, okay, now they're a little more talented, they're a little more experienced. Like now the Packers are like actual Super Bowl contenders. Who knows what's going on with the Vikings? The Bears, they're going to be in year 2 with Caleb Williams. You kind of got lucky
The
this
Bears are
year.
they're the wild card.
But there is an argument to be made that everybody in their division could be better next year than they are this year, even.
Yeah, if everything does well.
And on top of that, this year the schedule breaks for them. Like they had 13 games in domes, which is when Jared Goff is really good. I know half of those are at home anyway, but nevertheless, you got to play the Packers before it got cold in Green Bay. You got to go on the road and play the Bears. That sucks, but you play one cold weather game all year long. That's pretty, and you play in the NFC North. That's a pretty lucky break. And now because of your injuries. I mean, they're one loss away from getting the 2 seed, and worst comes to worst, they could be on the 5 seed. So
Now the 2 seed, I wouldn't be too worried about
if
that.
they got to go play Philly in Philadelphia, that's a problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's a problem.
Philly.
And that's why I'm to me the Lions, they are a great team, but I also feel like if you want them at their best, they need to there's a certain situation they need to be in, and going into Philadelphia in the NFC Championship with a banged up defense is not the situation you want to be in if you're Detroit. That is not a situation conducive to winning. Now, maybe they're just going to prove us wrong, but
that's fair. That's fair.
That's why I'm panicked. I feel like if the Lions really want to make a run at this, and it feels like it has to be this year, just the way everything's breaking, they need the 1 seed. And if they're losing the 1 seed, I think their path is just so much harder. So yeah, I am panicked if I'm the Lions. Maybe I'm being overreactive, but I mean, dude, that defense. I know it's Josh Allen, but holy God, that defense was horrible. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, Dan Campbell's going for it on 4th down because we can't stop him. We cannot stop this offense. If we give them the ball back, we will lose. We cannot stop this offense. It's a problem. It's a problem. And they're going to have to figure it out. And they just lost David Montgomery. So.
Yeah. Which I don't think that's a big loss for him, but yeah,
We'll find out, yeah. It's just is Jahmyr Gibbs the guy that you can give the ball to
you can't,
25 plus times a game?
You can't.
I don't know who their 3rd stringer is.
I don't know either.
But anyway, good luck to the Lions. Congrats to the Bills. Man, everybody at the top of the pyramid this year, except the Packers and Eagles, I'd be happy with making it and going all the way. Lions would love it. Vikings would love it. Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, even the Broncos and the Chargers. Even the Steelers. I don't really want the Steelers to because of the whole Cowboys-Steelers thing, but, I don't hate the Steelers. So, it's just, as long as it's not the Eagles or the Packers, I'm in good shape. As long as it's not one of them, I'm in good shape. All right, anyway. Bucks-Chargers. Good game for a while. And
was it? Okay, I was like, was it?
Yeah, it was 13-17 for a lot of it, and then Mike Evans just
took the game
figured
over.
out he was God, and him and Baker just couldn't miss, and Mike Evans just starts going off, and Baker starts playing well, and they just really ran away with it.
What he
So
does.
Chargers are in a tough spot, but I mean their schedule's favorable to them, so they're gonna be fine. Like I think they need to win like 1 or 2 more games out of the next 3 weeks, and they're probably gonna do it. So I'm not worried about the Chargers, but they are another team that needs to get healthy. They have too many injuries right now.
Yeah.
Justin
How do you
Herbert
feel
put it
about?
bluntly.
Yeah, let's say how do you feel about Justin Herbert? It's not. I feel like people are big down on him, which I mean I understand. Has been putting up these godly passing numbers he did, in his first few years, and he's not turning the ball over, but he's not. He doesn't seem like he's in that elite category as we've been putting him in. And what's your opinion on that?
I was thinking about that today, actually. Like, I get that he's hurt, and I do want to give him a little bit of, cut him some slack because he's been hurt. But I don't know. I also feel like, dude, if you can't win with Jim Harbaugh, like, what are you doing? I get it. Okay, Anthony Lynn's your coach. Yeah, Anthony Lynn kind of sucks, and I get it. Brandon Staley's your next coach. Yeah, Brandon Staley blows. Like, I get it. You got Jim Harbaugh, the dude that's like, yeah, if my system works, you're not going to do anything. Like, you're not going to do anything because we're just going to run it all the time. That's what he's done. This man took I know Alex Smith now. We think of Alex Smith and we go, solid quarterback. Alex Smith, for 6 years, was considered one of the worst busts in the history of the sport. Dude was a bust. Dude was a straight bust. He was horrific in San Francisco and goes and bounces around the league as a backup. His career's basically over. And Jim Harbaugh comes in and goes, hey, you want to run it back in San Francisco? And he starts going to NFC championships. And then he goes to Kansas City and wins a bunch of games in Kansas City. And now we think of Alex Smith as like solid quarterback. Alex Smith's solid. He was like, that's what Jim Harbaugh did for that guy. Like, turned him from a bust into wow, this is a good quarterback. And if Justin Herbert isn't able to win with Jim Harbaugh at a high level, and like it's year one, he's hurt, systems in development. I'm not going too hard on him, but like the clock is running for Justin Herbert at this point. Like, we're not going to get through this Jim Harbaugh era in 3 years from now. And if they've only won a playoff game, Jim Harbaugh's just not working either. Like, at some point, we got to go, okay, this is Justin Herbert. Like, this is a Justin Herbert problem. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Anything else on this game?
No, I thought it was a blowout. I didn't know it was closer than. They didn't run. Oh my God, they did not run the ball well. Jesus Christ.
All right, Steelers-Eagles, another big game. Steelers kind of controlled this game. The Steelers made it interesting, made it 13-17 at halftime after they fell down early. Made it interesting, but the second half of this game was absolutely insane.
There's only 10 points scored in the second
Eagles,
half.
In the second half, had the ball for 24 minutes.
Oh, wow.
The Steelers had 2 drives in the second half, and one of them ended in a fumble from Najee Harris.
Oh, wow.
The Eagles went on a 10-minute, 21-play drive.
For 21 plays? How does that even happen?
You start at the 1 and you just matriculate down the field. That is what this second half was. It was.
They started at the 3.
We're literally you're never going to see the ball again.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They had this game. They had the ball for the last 10 minutes. They got the ball. Wait. Is this right? Hold on. Am I reading
You are.
this
You
right?
are. It's absurd.
They got the ball at their 3 with 10 minutes and 29 seconds left.
Ended the game.
And then ended the game. That's crazy.
Steelers never saw the ball again.
That's insane. That's something you see in Madden. You don't see that in real life. That's crazy.
It was absurd. So, I mean, congrats to the
Eagles. There was 1, 2, 3.
TJ Watt
There's
got
5 drives. That's crazy.
T.J. Watt got hurt in this game. So prayers
No,
up for that guy. They're saying he might play this Saturday.
he was he went like half most of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're saying he might play, but he was. I think Lane Johnson gave up 2 sacks, which
oh
which is
damn,
like again like with no context, you go, oh,
damn.
that's a tough day. It's like no, that's more sacks than Lane Johnson's given up in like the last 7 years combined.
Yeah, that's a bad day for Lane Johnson.
That is probably the worst day of his career. I mean, that like doubles his sack totals for like dating back to when they won the Super Bowl. Like
Lane Johnson.
I mean, that just shows how good TJ Watt is.
Lane Johnson washed. Lane Johnson washed.
Like Lane Johnson is one of the best players in the history of the sport, and he's still playing at an incredibly high level. And TJ Watt is like, okay,
that's.
I mean, just that performance alone, give it to TJ Watt. Give it to give defense player of the year TJ Watt. So, anyway, Steelers, sorry you lost. Eagles 12-2. Congrats. Steelers got the Ravens this week, so that'll be fun. And then we go to the Sunday night. That game was trash. It looks like a blowout because it was a blowout. It was like 21-3 or something at some point. And
I stopped.
I didn't even watch the second half of it.
I had it
on
on.
score.
I had it on, but yeah, once I saw the Packers went up 14-0. Yeah, went up 14-0 very early. Josh Jacobs was getting it going, and it was just Geno Smith had a rough game. They couldn't do really anything. They're running the ball pretty well. Their running back Zach
Charbonnet.
he was running pretty well. It was just they got down early. They got down. Very early, and it just was really hard for them to get back in the game, and they couldn't get anything going. Defense couldn't stop them.
I just think Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, defense couldn't stop them, and Green Bay just took care of business.
I just think it really goes to show you how good the NFC North is. Like, any time, obviously the Lions lost to the Bills, but like these teams play each other, and it's this gritty, tough, like, man, go either way, and then they go and play teams outside their division, and they just thump them. I mean, they just thump them. And that was what this was. So, and then we get the Monday night games. I'm not gonna lie, Christian, I didn't see a single down on Monday Night Football.
Didn't watch them either.
Didn't see a single down.
I was trying to see if I could sneak the Bears Vikings game on YouTube, but I couldn't sneak it. So
I just didn't care. Like I was keeping. First off, I knew I was not going to watch the Falcons Raiders game.
Oh yeah, what?
I was only going to watch the Vikings Bears if like second half started and it was like nip and tuck game, and it was like 13-0 like for most of it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I don't care about this game. So. Anyway, Vikings win, Bears lose. Some tell me Thomas Brown is not the answer for the Bears. Sorry, big guy. Good luck to you.
I remember coming into this season.
Don't say it. Don't do it to him.
I'm gonna do it. I remember coming into the season.
Put the camera on you.
This was the best situation a rookie quarterback could ever be drafted into. And look where we're at now. I just can't. Some people had them going to the Super Bowl. Some people had them winning this division, going to the playoffs. It's just like what happened? It's like, oh yeah, much like the Jets, this organization is pretty trash. Who would have thought? Yeah. These organizations, like, now look, it can happen, and I think Caleb Williams can be great, but sometimes you just can't fix what's already broken. Sometimes it can. The Joe Burrow, when he came to the Bengals, he
CJ Stroud.
kind of fixed it. CJ, I wouldn't say the Texans.
Texans were broken before
Okay,
CJ
okay,
Stroud. They
okay,
were
fair,
they
fair.
were one of the worst. They were fresh off the Deshaun Watson thing. They had
Uh,
fired three coaches in 3 years.
okay, fair, fair, fair. So it can happen, but I don't know, man. But yeah, Caleb, fix your body language, dog. Like I get it, you don't like losing and all that stuff, but you can't be not throwing a tantrum, but acting like a 5-year-old, just you can't be doing like he did it in college. I get that and all that stuff. Like, dude, you love the game. I get it, but dude, you gotta be. You're the number one pick overall, dude. Act. You gotta act a little like, and then like you're trying to rally your team. Like you, it's just like, dude, you gotta be a little bit better, man. You gotta be a little bit better on how you present yourself to like the media, your teammates, like it all the fans. Like you gotta do better, dude.
I I
And
hate
I'm not
this.
putting it all on him as well. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I hate to say. Look, I like Caleb Williams. I'm rooting for Caleb Williams. Like definitely in Chicago. Like love that the Bears potentially have like a stud at quarterback, and I think he's got the potential. But like, I I, I think we get so caught up in measurables that
Yeah.
we mistake that for being like a generational type player. Like, and I've said it before on our podcast. I think Joe Burrow is a generational type player because Joe Burrow, the Bengals. I hated the Bengals my entire childhood because after the Ocho Cinco, Carson Palmer era, because they're just a joke of a franchise. Like they're poorly ran. They're a joke. They're the team that the Patriots got beat against. Patriots lost to the Chiefs in a blowout fashion on Monday Night Football. Bill Belichick comes out and goes, "We're on to Cincinnati," and goes and blows them out the next week. Like that's just who the Bengals were. They're just like, yeah, sorry, you're just kind of here. And they're 1-15, and they go get Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow overnight changes their franchise. And it's not because Joe Burrow was like just this can't miss exceptional talented prospect. Like that's part of it. He's got a great arm, he's got great mobility, but like there's just an it factor that Joe Burrow had that helped him change their franchise. Same with CJ. CJ, as I just said, the Texans were a dumpster fire before CJ gets it. Now, and this is where I don't feel like we give CJ enough credit because we look at CJ and go, well, like they were saying the last year, like, well, I mean, CJ came into a pretty good situation though, and it's like really because nobody thought that before CJ got there, and then he's doing well, and that's when we want to go, oh well, like CJ was going to be great if he had gone to Carolina. The Panthers were going to be probably pretty good because CJ's just he seems to have that it factor. Trevor Lawrence, exceptional prospect, talented guy, doesn't seem to have the it factor. Like Jacksonville's been a dumpster fire since he got there. Like, and Jaden Daniels. Does Jaden Daniels have the it factor? He's probably getting helped out, new ownership, new coach, but he's turning that franchise around. The Commanders are a respectable franchise now. I just don't know if Caleb's got the it factor. Like, I think you need to have talent around him, and you need to have him in a good coaching system, which is fine. That's how almost every player to ever play this game is. Like, Jalen Hurts is great because he plays for the Eagles. If Jalen Hurts was playing for, the Colts or something, who knows what Jalen Hurts would look like. Like, but I think Caleb, I think he's good. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think you said it about the body language, which I think, again, feeds into that. Like, he's just – we have seen enough to know I don't think Caleb is the guy that's going to come in and change your franchise in that way. I think he's a guy that if you put him in a good system and build around him and build a good culture, you can win a lot of games with. But outside of that, I don't know. I don't think he's got that I'm going to change your franchise overnight kind of look that I think a lot of people were hoping he would have when you drafted him. I don't know. My other thought, I've kind of moved off they need to get Ben Johnson. I think they need to get like Mike Vrabel.
Okay. Yeah.
They need, because you can get it, like, people who can do schematics and stuff, like, that's cool, that's fun, but like, that's, you need a guy who's got a proven track record of building a culture. Like, that's what you're not lacking. Creativity offensively, you're lacking a culture of winning in Chicago. And I think somebody like Mike Vrabel, like Jim Harbaugh, um, you know, I think they need somebody like that that's going to come in and establish a winner in the team. So I don't know. That's my rant on Caleb and the Bears. I'm rooting for you, Chicago, but
No.
it's
Well,
tragic.
well said. Well said. I like the variable take at the end. I'm like, oh yeah, that would sound a lot better. But yeah, it's weird because like you're watching like some of his. I'm watching some of his clips and it just feels like he just still hasn't learned. Like, hey, bro, you can't sit back there and try to dodge, five, six, seven, eight guys coming at you and try to throw it downfield, bro. Just take off. Just take off sometimes or throw it away.
Yeah, yeah, and I
Or
think the more he uses his legs, the better he's looked, and it's when he's not doing that, it's tough. Anything else?
you know,
All right,
uh,
last
well,
last game.
yeah, Michael Penix.
Yeah, that's really the one thing I wanted to talk about. Kirk Cousins benched, Michael Penix started, and we finally got what we've been. At least I don't know how you felt about it. I know I've been pushing for that for a couple weeks now.
I,
Um,
I think I've been pushing for it as well. I mean, it's I think it's I don't know how like people like I get it. You're in the middle of they're in the middle of a playoff push and they're playing Kirk all this money to be on their bench, but I mean you're only a game behind. You know, Kevin Wallace brought up a solid point on first things first. It's like it took Kevin Durant like over 500 days or something to get back from Achilles, and Kevin Durant is a way better athlete than Kirk Cousins is, and Kirk Cousins took was like 300 days. So maybe it's an injury thing. He's a lot older, uh, but I mean, he's not playing great. He's what was it, one touchdown and nine interceptions in their last few games. You have the tiebreaker over
Bucks.
the Bucks. Yeah, you have the tiebreaker over the Bucks. So who knows? Maybe the kid, maybe the kid is a stud, and you got him there in case Kirk Cousins got hurt, and he's playing like he hurt. So put him in there, see what he can do.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is, I know it's weird to be like, you're going to really put a rookie in during this playoff push. I just think at this point, Michael Penix gives them a better chance. And the reason is because even though he's a rookie, unless he is just a bust, unless he is a bad quarterback and is just not good enough to play at the NFL
Well,
level,
then you really messed up.
yeah, well, then
Like
you're in even a bigger problem than
hey,
even before. But unless he's that bad, there's no chance he's going to play worse than Kirk Cousins. I mean, is he really going to come out here and be worse than one touchdown, 9 picks? Probably, maybe he has. I don't see that.
their next three games is very very favorable. You have the Giants, then you have the Commanders against a rookie.
Rookie.
Yeah,
That's
rookie,
fun.
rookie. Who knows? And then you finish the game off. You finish the season off against the Panthers. Like you said, you have the tiebreaker over the Bucks. The Bucks. Let's see who the
They're playing the
Bucks lost.
Cowboys this week.
Bucks got the Cowboys this week. That's a tough game for them. Then they got the Panthers Saints. So you're rooting for the Cowboys win. You'll beat the Giants. You're right in that
They're
thing,
back
bro.
in it. Yeah, I mean,
Back in it.
yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And again, like, the Commanders are good, but like, their defense is lacking talent. So like,
Yeah.
Michael Penix should be able to move the ball on them. Yeah, no, I think it's a good time for Michael Penix to come in. I would have liked them to have done it a little sooner, but they did it before it was too late. And they're setting him up with a really good. Like this would have been they won anyway, I guess, but this would have been a great game to put Michael Penix in. Like, hey, playing the Raiders, they've given up. Just go out there and play. So anyway, good luck to Michael Penix.
Max Crosby's getting his ankle repaired, so their best player is not even playing.
Good luck to Michael Penix. Good luck to the Falcons. I'm a little more interested in the Falcons now. Just tragic that Kirk Cousins' era it might be over. Like,
well, he has a no trade clause, so
I'm hearing people are saying that I don't know if it's true. I don't know if this is like from reporting, but theory is like they might just straight up cut him after this offseason and just eat the dead cap.
God, how much is that dead cap? That's a lot of money.
I don't know, but the Broncos did it, and I bet the Falcons would love to be where the Broncos are at right now.
I mean, sometimes, you probably just gotta cut it loose. Be like, hey, we'll eat it and move on. Admit that you made a mistake.
All right, well, everybody, that is week 15. We're way over on time, but that's okay. We're having a good time.
Yep.
Christian,
oh wow, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I'm gonna set you up with
your I can roll through this. It's not much has changed.
Yeah, I figured not as much. It feels like we're getting to the point where things are very much set in stone now. All right, I'll introduce the concept. Yada yada. Christian feels the tears in his bones, and it speaks to him. And here is his rankings. You know the rest. He doesn't do it. The tears just speak to him. So, without further ado, Christian, take it away, my guy.
All right, bottom row. It's official. I think we're accustomed to all these teams now. I think the Bears are the newest addition. You're showing the list, right? On screen.
Yeah, I'm showing the list. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So Giants, Titans, Jets, Raiders, Patriots, Browns, Panthers, Jags, and then with the Bears added. Next up, we got the close but not yet, still technically, mathematically, still in it, I guess. It's the Saints, but probably after this Sunday. Oh, excuse me, they'll probably be down there. Don't know how they haven't been eliminated yet, but here they are. Moving on up to just living on a prayer. A lot of teams here, regulars from last week as well. We got the Colts, Cardinals, Dolphins, Cowboys, Bengals, 49ers, and new addition with the Falcons now being 7-7. We'll see what Michael Penix does. Maybe he gets him out of there, out of that situation, and get him into the playoffs. Just above them, I got this team just makes my head hurt, and it's the Seahawks. I don't know. They keep their season alive with that one win with Geno making a comeback or whatever, and then you start disappointing. It's again versus the Packers. You're at home. You're on top of your division, feeling good about yourself, and they just lay an egg. This team just makes my head hurt, man. Just above them, I got the NFC South with the Bucs, who have been playing and they balled this last week. Mike Evans can still get his 1,000 yards. He has 3 games to go, which he probably will get it. And Baker loves throwing it to him. So, I like the Bucs, feeling good. Maybe a playoff win if they just hold on, but who knows? Just above the Bucs, I got the playoff teams. These are the teams that are looking like they're going to make the – well, the Rams are probably that one exception because Seattle is right behind them at 8-6. But right now they're there. But these teams are in the playoffs, but I'm not feeling amazing about them. The the Texans. I've already shared how I felt about them. Broncos, rookie quarterback. He didn't play great this past game with 3 interceptions, so not feeling very confident. Them on the road in the playoffs playing. Who would they play? Like the Bills or team like that. Not very confident in them. Rams, like I said, they're here right now, 8-6 on top of the division, and then the Commanders, just that the rookie factor with Jaden Daniels, first NFL postseason. That's a lot for a rookie, and then that defense. Even though Marshawn Lattimore is finally back and playing for him. Um, yeah, and just above them, they have these teams that could maybe if some things go well. Okay, didn't look at it that closely. I got the
Oh,
Steelers, Green Bay, Chargers. Make an argument for the Chargers to be moved down, and Ravens and Vikings. Vikings did not go away. Shout out to the Vikings. Shout out to the Vikings. 12-2 can get the 1 seed or the 2 seed, which is a phenomenal season from the Vikings compared to what I thought they were going to be this year. Um, and then Super Bowl contenders, Chiefs, Bills. I'm not too panicked on the Lions right now, but it is. I am a little concerned, but not too panicked. And then the Eagles, and that's it.
yeah, no, that was quick. Wow, you really
Yeah,
scrolled through that. No, I mean, I agree. Again, like this tier list is just getting more and more set in stone the deeper we get. That living on a prayer, it's official. You can't do nothing about that. That's just is what it is. Living on a prayer. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it really does feel like. I mean, maybe the Falcons could be up
out
one
of
tier.
out of all of those, the Falcons probably are up
Like,
there.
to me, these other six teams, like, they're all in the exact same spot. It's like, yeah, you're not making it, but like, in theory,
In
it's
theory,
possible, but
I think
it's
I
not.
read the Dolphins one that we need to win all 3 games. We need Baltimore to lose like 2 out of 3, like 2 out of 3, something like that, and we need like the Broncos or the Chargers to lose all their next 2 out of 3 or all 3 or whatever. It's yeah.
The good news is the Broncos and the Chargers are playing each other
Oh, very good.
this tomorrow. So,
Oh yeah, that is a Thursday.
already off the bat, you're going to have one of those teams already having lost one out of their next three. So,
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't believe
but
it.
I mean, it's probably not. But yeah, living on a prayer like that makes my head hurt. The Seahawks, yeah, I don't. I
Maybe
don't
you could
know.
probably make an argument for the Falcons probably make your head hurt right now. The
Yeah, I mean,
Falcons.
well, maybe they're salt. Maybe they're starting the aspirin at quarterback. So we'll see what happens. NFC South, yeah, I think you called it. Chargers probably deserve to be a tier lower. They're kind of in that playoff teams where it's like, y'all probably are gonna like Chargers, Broncos, Rams, Commanders. They're probably just happy if they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Texans obviously would be a disappointment because they had such high hopes, but they're probably not doing nothing this year. Steelers, Packers, Ravens, Vikings. Totally agree with you. Like outside chance, but hey, some things go right with them. Some matchups go well. Injury luck bounces their way. Like they could mess around and end up in the conference championship round. And then your top four
Yeah,
Super Bowl contenders hasn't changed. I agree
Vikings
completely.
messed around and got Case Keenum in the NFC. I know it didn't go well in the NFC Championship game, but they got there.
On that note, do we have anything to say about the fact that 2017 NFC Championship, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, Kirk Cousins their starter, don't get anywhere near it, and now first year removed from Kirk Cousins, they back to being a championship level team.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think it's
That's
Kirk Cousins'
crazy.
fault, but like
Nah, yeah, no,
it is
Kurt,
what it
but that
is.
is a weird coincidence that I did not think about.
I heard that somebody said that, and I was like, huh.
Well, wait,
Interesting.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. The four Super Bowl contenders, as I said, no change there. I think we are likely on
You
a
know
collision
about the
course.
Lions?
I am very worried about the Lions, but I think they'll at the bare minimum make it to the conference championship round. It's just a matter of can they win that round against likely the Eagles, maybe the Vikings, or maybe it's the Vikings that are there instead of the Lions. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's coming down to these four. It feels like we'll see what happens. But as always, Christian, I love the list. Thank you for putting it together.
It's getting easier and easier.
Yeah, it's fair. All right, let's go over Jake's bets. Terrible news, Christian. We went 2-4.
Ooh.
And the reason that is terrible news.
Did I hit on mine? I forgot what
You
I
did.
did.
You did.
Oh yeah, Rams plus 3. That was all right.
The reason this is such terrible news is because this now brings our record to 35-40. Or, yeah, 35-40.
Can you still make? Yeah, you can still make that up, right?
I can, but in order to hit 53%, I have to go 72% over the next, over the rest of the other 25 bets I have, which would be equivalent to 18, and I have to go 18-7, which would mean I'd have to do basically better than I've done all year long at any stretch. So if I go even if I go 5-0 this week, I still need to go 65% the rest of the way after that. So this week was likely the nail in the coffin for profitability this year, unfortunately. We can go through them really quick. The two I got right: Bucks plus 3, never a doubt. Packers minus 3, never a doubt. The one that I regret taking, Lions minus 2.5. I thought I was picking, under a field goal at home, extended rest. I thought they were the spot. They were wrong. The other ones, Steelers plus 5.5. I don't regret taking that. Like
Steelers underdog.
I will take that every time. Browns plus 4.5. I'm just annoyed because they've just been bad and they haven't been covering. And I'm like, they're getting plus 8 this week against the Bengals. I'm not taking them. I'm done. I've bet them now 2 weeks in a row, lost both of them bad. I'm not doing it. And, of course, the Commanders made me more mad than anything. They were covering this the whole time. And at the end of the game, it was just a debauchery of circumstances. They had a dropped pass. They had a non-called PI. They had a pass that won them the game, basically, that got called back for a holding penalty. And then the field goal to go up by 10 and put my bet to bed, basically shanked. So I had to have all of these things go wrong to not cover that bet. Very frustrated with it. It was probably not the right side, though. I'm taking a road favorite of 7.5. Like, you probably shouldn't take that. But it was winning most of the game, and it really should have covered. So it's unfortunate how many things had to go wrong and did go wrong to not cover that. So without further ado, we're going to get into our bets. This week we got 5. Trying to go 5-0, get back into it. So let's go. All right, first one. We're going Saturday games.
Oh, okay. Both or one?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Wait, we're going back to the well again?
Not going back to the well.
Oh.
Not going back to the well, no. Well, actually, I'm going back to one of the wells.
One of the wells.
I'm going Steelers plus 6.
Yeah, boy.
I can't. In what world? How is this plus 6?
Right. Well, I guess TJ Watt being out, but I feel like that could. Baltimore struggles within division.
This game, this is gonna be. It always is. This is gonna be an 18-14 game. It's gonna be disgusting. It's gonna be nasty. I don't know what. Like, this is one of those lines that makes me scared. I'm like, what am I missing here? Why is it this many points? Mike Tomlin, 6-point underdog against the Ravens, who they play well against, coming off a bad loss where his defense couldn't get off the field. What do you think he's saying to that team? He's like, guys, no, never again. Never again. Now, I am a little concerned because their defense was on the field a lot in that second half. And this Ravens defense is very good. So that is the concern I have, especially if TJ Watt is hurt. But I'm playing the number. Plus 6. Come on. Give me it. All right.
Not hitting the Texans
I have
plus
no,
three and a
I have
half.
no idea what to do with that game. I'm staying away from that game. That game's insane to me.
Texans 3.5.
You take it if you want it. I'm not. I won't take it though. All right,
Take
going
it.
to our Sunday games.
I'll think about it.
Commanders plus 3.5 at home. Commanders plus 3.5 at home against the Eagles. I'm taking it because I'm getting the hook. I'm getting the extra half a point. They're at home. They're dogs. The Eagles and the Commanders play against each other very close every time. The last time the Commanders played this team, they didn't cover. It was because of some bad mistakes at the end. They were covering, and they were in the game the whole time up until that very end. I like the Commanders. I don't know if I'm going to predict them to upset the Eagles, but I think they're going to keep this game close. I think they're going to be in it, and I think they could have a chance to win a tight ball game at the end of it. So give me the Commanders plus 3.5.
Okay.
All right. We got a couple of big, fat favorites that we're taking here. The first one of the smaller of the two. Lions minus 6.5.
I'm going back.
I feel so bad for the Bears this week.
Yeah.
Because Dan Campbell and this Lions team are so mad. They are so pissed off. They lost a game at home. They snapped an 11-game win streak. It was their time to shine, and they didn't look good. And now they're going to take all of that anger and frustration out on the Bears. Like, wrong place, wrong time.
Don't start off games well.
You ever watch the Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's an episode where Mojo Jojo wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And they just all went there and borderline killed him. Just wrong place, wrong time. The Bears are Mojo Jojo this week. The Lions are just – I think the Lions are going to just destroy them. Sorry, Chicago. But, they are injured. They are on the road. They're missing David Montgomery, so that could be a factor. But I just – you said they start slow. Is this going to be a surprise if this is like 21-3 at halftime and it's just never that close? I'm not going to be surprised.
I wouldn't be.
All right, this is the big one.
The big one.
This is the one where I tell all the kids to not do this at home. I'm taking the Bills minus 14.
I knew it.
I'm taking the Bills minus 14.
I was scrolling down. I was like, what's fat? What is he? I was like, oh.
I'm taking the Bills minus 14. It's the nastiest spread on the board.
I mean, the Patriots, the Patriots are just out there.
They're just out there. I think there's a chance Gerard Mayo gets fired after this year, and the Bills are coming. The Bills are coming home after a stretch on the road, and their fan base is feeling good, and they're feeling good.
I know Walmart tables hate to see Bills fans come.
Oh man, those Walmart tables. Oh man, they see a Bills fan, they're just like. All right, so yeah, I'm going Bills minus 14. I think they're going to win by a lot, so. Take that spread. And then my last game, the fifth game, we're going to Sunday Night Football. I'm taking the Cowboys plus 4. I think the Cowboys have found their groove.
Oh, Sunday night. This is actually a somewhat okay game.
I think the Bucs are probably going to be due for a letdown spot here, coming off a big win. They're going on the road now. Back-to-back weeks on the road, I think.
Y'all cover Mike Evans.
We got DeRon Bland and Trayvon Diggs. I think it will be okay. Can they cover CeeDee Lamb? That's the question. I like the Cowboys. I'm just getting plus 4 at home. Cowboys, I feel like have found their rhythm now. I don't know if I'm going to pick them to win. I mean, I will pick them to win this game outright, but even if they don't win this game outright, I think this will be a close game. And I think even if it's 28-17, Cowboys are always available for a backdoor cover. A touchdown there covers the spread. So, I like the Cowboys here plus 4. So to recap, Steelers plus 6, Commanders plus 3.5, Lions minus 6.5, Bills minus 14, Cowboys plus 4. I got to go 5-0. I feel like this could be 5-0. I hope it is. Knock on wood. So that's mine, Christian. What do you got?
I'm not gonna do it. Hold on real quick. Yeah. I'm gonna be right there with you, Jake. I'm gonna go with the nasty one as well. Give me the Packers minus 14 and a half.
No. Oh man, that is nasty. That's nasty. Alvin Kamara might be out. Like, I don't know how the Saints are gonna put up any points.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing Texans plus 3.5, but nah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, give me Packers. Give me the Pack Nation.
Pack Nation. All right, bet. I like that. I like
They
that.
don't run the ball. They're at home. I feel like they don't have to do. They shouldn't. Jordan Love shouldn't have to do too much as long as they can. As long as they can run the ball, and Jordan Love doesn't turn the ball over, which he's been doing a great job not turning the ball over, and they're doing a great job of running the ball. And defenses, they got some injuries, but they're playing. Their defense is playing well. They're playing well.
Mm.
Playing. God damn, Josh Jacobs had 12 touchdowns.
Josh Jacobs is one of the three best backs in the league this year.
11 over 1,100 yards.
All right. Well, with that, we can move on to our Week 16 picks. Christian, are you ready to pick these games?
Uh, yep. This Thursday one, I'm not so sure yet.
All right. Well, we got a full slate, and we'll kick it off as you said. The Thursday night game. We got the Broncos and the Chargers. Christian, do you want me to go first, or who you got?
Broncos.
I'm going Broncos. Oh, I should add, I went 11-5 last week.
Oh, I didn't count that up. I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I went 12-4.
Dang, you're always a step ahead of me.
Always, Jake. 12-4.
12-4, good stuff. All right, how about we go to the Saturday night? We got two Saturday night games, exciting. We got the Chiefs and the Texans.
Yeah, if Carson Wentz is still playing, I'll probably still pick the Chiefs. Yeah. Oh, Chiefs.
I'm going Chiefs as well.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh,
no,
go ahead.
Chiefs. Ravens Steelers.
Ooh.
Classic matchup.
Ravens.
I'm going Ravens as well.
Oh, I thought you were going Steelers.
I think the Steelers will keep it close, but I don't think the Steelers are going to sweep the Ravens this year. Not missing T.J. Watt possibly. George Pickens is still kind of questionable, and they're in Baltimore. Steelers are coming off a tough, grueling loss. I think the Ravens will win. I just don't think it'll be by a bunch of points.
Yeah.
All right, we go to the Sunday slate. Falcons, Giants. I'm going Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons.
All right, how about Cardinals, Panthers in Carolina?
Is it? What
Cardinals
game is it?
traveling
Cardinals,
Panthers.
Okay. Cardinals.
I'm going Panthers. Fun fact, this was an NFC Championship rematch from the 2015-16 season.
Oh.
The Panthers destroyed them. It was bad. All right, Lions, Bears. Going Lions, as you can guess by my bet. How about Colts, Titans in Indianapolis? I'm going Colts.
Don't care about this game. I guess I'll go Colts as well.
All right, sneaky game right here. Rams traveling cross country to play the Jets. Who you got?
Give me the Rams. I think
I'll go Rams as well. All right, Commanders, Eagles in Washington.
Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles.
I'm going Commanders.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Bengals, Browns in Cincinnati.
Bengals.
I'm going Bengals as well. All right, Seahawks, Vikings in Seattle.
Vikings.
I'm going Seahawks. Patriots, Bills. Based off the bet, you can guess I'm going Bills. All right, we're both on Bills. All right, Jaguars, Raiders.
Yeah, well,
Las Vegas.
both these teams suck.
You're not getting up for this 325 game on CBS. Oh man, this is gonna be where I'm at. You know where I'm gonna be at 325. You know what I'm gonna be watching.
Seated it. Wow.
Low key, this afternoon slate blows.
Yeah.
I mean, your Dolphins are playing in it. I don't want to like. That's probably the best game. I mean, Vikings Seahawks isn't bad, but like.
The 305 Viking Seahawks is probably the
best game of the week is probably Eagles Commanders.
Raiders. I don't care.
I'm going Jags.
I don't care about this game.
Right. Dolphins Niners in Miami. Brock Purdy. It all began against the Dolphins.
Really?
That was his first start.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Smoked y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with Kyle Shanahan.
I'm going Miami.
I'm hoping, but I don't know. I'm going 49ers. I don't trust Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, I'm going Miami. All right, Sunday night.
Sunday night tickets.
Bucks, Cowboys.
I probably won't go.
Go see your old high school homie.
Buccaneers.
I'm going Cowboys. And then Monday night, your bet of the week. You're going Packers.
I wonder if he would remember me. Packers.
I am also going Packers. All right, that's it.
I wonder if Baker would recognize him.
How well did you know him? Like I always thought he was just like a dude you saw in high school walking down the hallway, and you're like, oh, I know him.
I mean, I was on the team, but I wasn't on the. What was it? I think when I was a freshman, I think he was a junior. I think. So, but he might like. It'd probably be like you look familiar if he did see me, but yeah, it wouldn't be like a. We weren't cool
together.
Yeah, we weren't cool or anything. We were just he was on the football team and I was freshman, junior, or freshman, sophomore.
Was he like the dude on campus? Was he like that good? Or was
he was
that's the starting quarterback for the team.
I would say like freshman year because when I started there, they were going for their fifth state championship at that point in Lake Travis, which we won it, and then the sophomore year. I think we got moved up to because I think we were dominating 4A, and I think we got bumped up to 5A, and I can't remember if we lost in like the first or second round that year. Which I don't know. I felt like he was just kind of your. I don't think he was a jerk, but I think he was just like he was all right.
Well, because like I feel like when you have a future NFL player on your team in high school, like,
I did not think this man was gonna be.
People are like he's like everybody's like, oh man, that guy's amazing. Like like, oh, this guy's like better than everybody. We had one guy in our high school, at least that I know. Maybe somebody else I just don't know. We had one dude from my high school when I was there make it to the NFL. His name is Zach. His name is, I don't think he's dead. His name's Zach Sanchez. And he was the best player on our team, in our school. Like, he was a celebrity in the school because of how good at football he was. Like, he was our best player.
I mean, he was dating the hottest girl in high school there.
That's
so he was
cliche. That's insane.
He was very popular. I mean, I forgot her name.
The high school quarterback. It's the hottest girl in school. Like, that's so.
Well, yeah, it was very like typical. But like, he wasn't much of a douche. He's a pretty okay guy. But yeah, like not very many interactions with him. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Because the dude that made it to the NFL in our school, like, again, by far the best player, that dude was a practice squad player. Like, backup guy. I don't even think he's in the NFL now. I doubt he ever even played a real snap, or maybe he did. I mean, that was as good as we got. Like, so when you have a player who's like, I mean,
To be fair, he was a walk-on.
Yeah, he was. That's
how
true.
he started his college career. So like he wasn't highly recruited, and then he got to Tech and he made a name. Like he did what he was supposed to do. Like you get an opportunity, you take full advantage of it, and he did that. So I can't
No,
fault him on that.
respect to him. I just, for somebody who's had as successful of a career as he has had up to this point, like I know, how success like Baker, Baker is in the 1% of 1% of people in terms of like success in the NFL. Like people don't have the level of success he's having, like, and it just feels like usually players that obtain that, it's like, oh man, this guy was just special in high school. And it's kind of interesting because again, I know he was a walk on, and I know that's his back. Like,
good, yeah,
but he
I would
wasn't
say
like people
incredible.
weren't watching him going, that guy,
Yeah.
that guy's gonna be the number one overall pick in the draft.
Yeah,
Like Matt Stafford, he was better than everybody. Like, he was the top recruit, and then he goes to Georgia, and he's the best quarterback, and then he goes and he gets picked in the first round. He's, So anyway, interesting little side tangent, but we can wrap it up. You got anything else, Christian?
Did he go to Westlake?
Matt
No,
Stafford?
no. Okay, Drew Brees did. Drew
Yeah,
Brees
Drew
went too.
Brees did. I
That's
think Matt Stafford went to
our
Grapevine.
I'm trying to find his high school. Where did he go to high
I
school?
think Matt Stafford went to Grapevine. There's a funny story about Matt Stafford, though.
The Bulldogs High School in Dallas, Texas. He played for Highland Park.
Oh, he played for Highland Park.
Okay. Drew Brees played for Westlake, which is Lake Travis's rival, where the squad went to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Matt Stafford. It's a whole thing. So quick thing. Back in like the 50s, the Lions traded this quarterback named Bobby Lane. Bobby Lane's a Hall of Famer. He was like really good quarterback, and they traded him. And Bobby Lane was pissed about it. He was salty, and he made this declaration publicly. Like they asked him how he felt. He's like how do you feel? He's like, I think the Lions are not going to win for 50 years because of this decision. And so it became known as the Bobby Lane curse, because the Lions then proceeded to not win for 50 years. And on the 50th year of the curse, they went 0-16, and they got the first overall pick, and they drafted Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford not only went to the same high school as Bobby Lane,
That's insane.
but grew up down the road from Bobby Lane's like childhood home.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes. So a little, and I'm double checking that. He went to Highland Park. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, pretty funny.
That's freaking hilarious.
So, and he didn't break the curse, I guess, because the Lions were still bad.
Yeah,
They were better.
They had some fun years.
So, all right. Anyway, we'll get out of here. Everybody, take it easy. Have a great Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Hanukkah starts on Christmas this year, ironically enough. So that's kind of funny. Yeah. Everybody, take care. Have a great day, and we love you. And we'll see you in the new year.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.